Hi there. Oh. Okay, so, hi ladies. Today I am doing the Alex Day survey, just like you guys did, and I'm gonna be 100% honest, I didn't know who Alex Day was. I didn't know that Alex Day was a man. I thought it was a holiday, like, it's Alex Day, yay! Alex is, I don't know, nah. So, anyways, the 5 questions. 1, what's your biggest fear? 2, how did you find out that Santa wasn't real? 3, what's the best idea you've ever had? 4, most embarrassing thing your parents have ever done? And 5, if you were only allowed to pick one career for the rest of your life, what would it be? So those are some pretty heavy questions. I guess I'll start with my biggest fear. So, let's see. This is gonna sound really cheesy, but my biggest fear is kind of the void. It's just kind of, you know, the idea that one day this silly little video I'm making on YouTube will be gone, along with YouTube, along with the internet, along with computers, along with everything in history ever, and nobody will know that it ever happened. That's pretty scary. That's gonna happen in about a billion years, maybe. I don't know. Physics. Physics! Physics! Ugh. Basically, we spend our whole lives trying to amount to something, and eventually that's all just going to be gone. But I have had a lot of time to think about it, of course, ever since I kind of became aware of the whole, like, you know, we're all gonna die and all that stuff. So yeah, John Green's Little Infinities thing definitely helps. It doesn't solve the problem, obviously, because that's just a way of thinking. It's not a way of doing or a way of being, really, but it is a way of being okay with what's going on. Okay. Next question. How did you find out Santa wasn't real? I'm gonna be honest, I was probably about 10, and everybody in my elementary school, it was like 5th grade, you know, people find out stuff and they're like, oh my god, I have to tell the entire world because that'll make me the coolest kid ever. And so, you know, the boys at school came up and they were like, hey, you know, Santa Claus isn't real, it's just your parents. And I was like, what? No, if that were true, then Elf wouldn't exist, okay? Let's just be clear here. And so Christmas came up a couple weeks later, and I looked at the cards on the presents, and they said, from Santa to Jennifer, and I was like, well, see, there you go, Santa exists. And then the phone rang. So right after seeing the writing on those cards, I went over to get the phone. And underneath the phone, my mom had like this little like notepad thing, and of course on the notepad thing was her handwriting. And I was like, wait a second. Of course, they're the exact same handwriting. No. And I'm like, that's really all there is about that story. Moving on. Okay, number 3. What's the best idea you've ever had? Okay, this is kind of difficult, I guess, because I still like to think I'm waiting on my best idea ever. It's probably written in one of my mini stories, actually. It's probably a quote or a theory on human life. The main idea that I live by is not really an original idea, but it's kind of a compilation from like different places in the world. The idea that people don't particularly live for other people because that would not quite, I mean, why live for anyone if no one is living for themselves? You know, whatever. People help other people and create their self-worth through their interactions with other people, and that it is actually biologically and symbiotically advantageous to have love and friends and family. And there are a lot of things to back that up. There's psychology, my posture is terrible, biology, and all kinds of things that really back up the idea that we live best when helping other people. And that's also the way that people live the happiest. Most embarrassing thing your parents have ever done. Okay, this one is pretty irritating. Okay, so basically, like anytime I go to a clothing store of any kind, especially prom dress shopping, this is just kind of how it goes. Dressing room, and I'm like, oh, Mom, I can't zip it. I can't zip it. You have to help me zip it. She comes in and she's like, where's the zipper? And I'm like, ah! And she'll be like, honey, I can't get it. Honey, I can't get the zipper up. I can't do it. It's not getting up. I think you're too big. You can hear the girls in the other fitting rooms, and they're kind of like, at first they're talking really loud, and then they go quiet, and then they're like, I'm just like, no. It's so embarrassing. We have the fifth and final question. If you were only allowed to pick one career for the rest of your life, what would it be? Okay, so in case I haven't made it clear, I am a writer. I write a lot. I am currently on my, well, I call it my 4.5 novel because I wrote a novella, but I'm currently on my 4.5 novel, and I've got one agent who thinks I have a future in this career, so that's pretty interesting. So I guess I would choose being an author, because even though it is pretty thankless and it is usually very bad, very poorly paid, I really want to help people and get my thoughts out there, and of course that does also help with, for, you know, temporarily, with the whole like endless void of time thing. And you know, I get to spread my ideas around the world and possibly help people from around the world that I've never even met. So that's pretty cool. So I guess I'll see you girls later. I'm really excited to see all y'all's videos on this, and I guess that's it. Bye!